Hello and welcome to Moscow for the third ICF Sprint Canoe World Cup for 2012. We're coming to you directly from the legendary Kryletskoye Regatta course, which of course has been massively refurbished since hosting the 1980 Moscow Olympic Games. 207 athletes are competing from 24 nations as the tension builds with the fast approaching London Olympic Games. As always in Russia, they put on a wonderful opening ceremony to kick off the action. The action started with the men's 1,000 meter kayak race. And as we join them, they've just completed 250 meters. Not surprisingly, lane number 4, lane number 5 out in front. Canadian Adam van Coverdon, he is the world champion, is getting pushed very hard by the young Australian 25-year-old Murray Stewart. The conditions not easy. They're crossing the 500 meter mark to go and they're virtually standing still with this very strong crossed headwind. But it is Adam van Coverdon with his classic stroke taking out the lead. Murray Stewart still in it with 200 meters to go. Third place, Russia, Pavel Nikolaev, but it's Adam Kovalainen who's going to take an easy victory by over a boat length. Second, just sprinting through, is Murray Stewart, and third is Pavel Nikolaev with Jost Roksajsek in fourth place from Slovenia. Jost here in the picture is a convert from the slalom event where he competed for Athens, but no doubt about the first to cross the line, it's Adam van Coverdon for Canada. The result of the K1 men's 1,000 meters, first Canada, second Australia, third Russia.
My race was good. It was really hard. It was a huge headwind and coming from the side a little bit, and the water was really inconsistent. So the first half of the race, it was a strong headwind, and then it got really strong in the middle, and almost felt like Marie and I stopped and then started again. And it was really challenging. And with 300 meters left, I knew I had to push it if I was going to get ahead of Marie, because we were both going to be so tired with the last 100 meters that I didn't want to leave it up till the very, very end of the race. So it was really hard. It was just slowing down the whole time. So.
The action continues and we'll move on to the pairs. The K2 1,000 meters race, and there is a strong head crosswind which may affect the results here. Look out for the first lanes to really have an advantage. But they are all away. And a close-up here of the Iranian team. That's Said Fazullah and Ali Agam-Razazed. And now after 250 meters, it's going to be a close one. It's the Germans in lane 1, plus against the Russians Vitaly Yurchenko and Vasily Pogogan. They were third last year in the World Championships. Still battling out for the lower places, but as we cross the halfway mark, on lane 1 or in lane 1, we have the Germans, Max Rentschmidt and Kai Spenner, certainly taking advantage of these conditions. They're under 23s, by the way. That's possibly why they're not a household name, but they are looking to take advantage of this strong headwind at the moment. Moving into the last part of the course, it's the Russians in second with the Australians coming up quickly behind them. No doubt about the winner, but who's going to take a second? It is just the Russians ahead of the two Australians, David Smith and Kenny Wallace. But great result from the under-23s, Spenner and Rentschmidt. Certainly two to look out for the future for the Germans. Very difficult conditions, strong headwind, strong crosswind. The Russians here in the picture, very experienced duo, but they couldn't compete against the advantage given to lane 1. The Iranians a bit out of the depth, but it's good to see the nation competing at this level. And the confirmed result, first Germany, second Russia, and third Australia. The Germans today presenting the under-23 team, and it's frightening how good they are already at this early age. The action continues. Next to go, it's the canoes, the pairs, and the men's sea 1,000 meter race. This, by the way, is not an Olympic event. In your picture here, the Russians, Hovashkov and Perushkin, they look like they could do well, but these are the guys to look out for from the Czech Republic, Radon and Dvorak. They actually came first last week. That was in the second ICF World Cup from Duisburg in Germany. But it's all open to start again. The Russians have been dominating so far, and in your picture, they are coming out to a good lead. In the early stage of the race, it's Russia, lane 4 and lane 2, starting to pull away from the rest of the field. Pavel Petrov and Alexei Bouvray have more than a boat length lead for their compatriots at the moment. Can they hold on? Good front shot here. See the exact coordination between the two. And as we cross the line, yes, not a great surprise. It's Russia 1, followed by Russia 2, and the Czechs, who won last week, have taken the third place. Good result there from Petrov and Boudret. It's good to see the South Americans with Brazil and Venezuela also battling for the action. The official results, Russia taking the gold and silver, with the Czech Republic ending up with the bronze. Moving on to the K4, the Flying Fours going in the men's 1,000 meter final. And as you see, we have two Russians. The picture is showing the Russian second team, with the Iranian team improving all the way. Not likely to be on the podium, but it's good to see them competing. And they are away. These are the fastest guys in the field. They can get up to 25 kilometers an hour. But in your picture, not surprisingly, Medvedev, Vasiliev, Rykov, and Zestov, they were third in the World Championships. And at the 500 meter mark, they're putting on a demonstration, with Australia trying to hold on in second place, but a long way back already. It really is a demonstration from the Russian quartet, with the Australians trying to hold on. This is going to be the Olympic boat, but as we come up to the end of the race, it's a very convincing victory for Medvedev, Vasily, Rykov, and Zestov for the Russian team. Australia coming over. It looks like they're easing off. I hope they're easing off for their sake in second place. And third, it's the Russians a long way back taking the third, but a very convincing victory for the Russian A team. That's a demonstration of domination for the Russians in their home regatta. If you're wondering, by the way, where are the Hungarians, the Belarus and the German A teams? Well, they're not competing this weekend. But for the Russians, you can only beat who's put in front of you. Confirmation of a wonderful, resounding victory. Medvedev, Vasiliev, Rykov, and Zestov are looking good if they get their position in the Olympic Games. Confirmation of the result: first Russia, second Australia, third Russia. Tactically, we raced as we prepared for in training. But we had a real fight with the wind and the bad weather, as you can see. So we're really happy with how we did in this race. You need to be prepared for this kind of weather conditions and just do it. Carrying on with the action here from Russia, going from the 1,000 down to the 500. It's the first chance to see the women in action with the K1 500. One of the favourites here in your picture, Alana Nichols from Perth, Australia, had some good results in the last couple of weeks. She's been on the medal podiums both times, but perhaps the favourite in here, Vera Sobotova from Russia. Also to look out for is Anastasia Sagiva. The Russians really have a strong presence, and of course they are away. And that's the young German Nicole Beck who's showing. Germans do have an under-23 team competing today. But with less than 200 meters to go, it's lane number 6 and the Russian Vera Sobotova. She's starting to show her domination. However, Alana Nichols coming in the picture is always good for the fight back, but Russia takes it. Second, Alana Nichols, who had a massive last 50 meters, taking over from Russian Sergeyeva, who takes the third place. For Vera Sabatova, never any doubt about who the victory was going to go to. She's going to be competing in every race she can in the next couple of days. Difficult conditions shows just the balance that these girls have to have to push the boat forward. Dominance once again from the Russian. And in your picture, it's good to see Hadiye Kazami from Iran. She ended up coming in 7th. The official results from the K1 500 meters women: first Russia, second Australia, third Russia. It feels great to have come in first place. Knowing how hard it would be, it was a really satisfying race. Of course, there's still things I need to work on, but these competitions are here for that, to improve your skills. And as you can see, it wasn't easy today. It's been really strong wind, but in the end, it didn't stop me, and I raced the way I'd prepared for in training. Staying with the women, and another Olympic event, the K4 500 meters. And it's going to be very difficult to look past these ladies. 2 of them have competed in the last race and won. That's why they're taking their time to get to the start line. And in your picture now, the young Germans, the under-23 squad. It's difficult to know how they're going to perform, but if they can perform anything like their masters, they're going to be in with a shout. Russia do have 2 teams in this. This is very much the second team. And the Australians, Rachel Lovell, Hannah Davis, Jo Bridgen-Jones, Lindsay Fogarty, they do have some form. They came 5th in the World Championships last year, and they are looking to get some solid training in, but they are away. 4 of the boats in the line with, unfortunately, the Kazakhs straining a bit at this moment. The Australians in the yellow, pushing hard against the Russians. But there are the Russian favourites. And halfway line. 200 meters to go now. They are looking very strong. It's going to be very difficult to beat this foursome. And as they come to the line, Russia takes the victory. The German under-23s in second. And Russian second team just edge out the Australians for taking 4th. That's Labova, Sabitova, Sergeyeva, and Salakova. What a combination. 2 of the girls now got 2 gold medals. Rachel Lovell in your picture. She is English, but she emigrated to Australia with her family 4 or 5 years ago and has really settled in well. But look at the power and coordination from the Russian first team. Come across the line in lane 5 to take a well-deserved victory. Confirmation of the results. Russia first, Germany second, Russia third.
Безумная гонка была, потому что ветер в лицо дул очень сильно. И мы кое-как выстояли в этой
It was a crazy race because of a strong headwind blowing against us, but somehow we made it through good teamwork and good tactical racing from start to finish.
даже против такого сильного ветра.
Две девочки, я и Вера Сабетова, мы гонялись одиночку сначала.
Vera Sabatova and I, we had to race in the K1 at the beginning of the day, and after the awarding of the K1, we had to run to be on time for the start of the K4 race. We only had 3 minutes to get all the girls on board from the pontoon, and as fast as we could go, we had to race from the starting blocks. All the boats were there waiting for us. We did a U-turn, and the race started a few seconds later, thanks to the officials to have indulged in us. Continuing with the sprints, it's the men's K1 500 meters, and we need to look out for lanes 4, 5, and 6. Lane 4 in your picture. From Slovenia, Jost Zakrasek. Murray Stewart's having a good weekend. Competed, came second in the K1000. And let's not forget the Russian flyer, Yuri Postrigay. He's in it for speed training, and of course they are off. 9 competitors in this. Murray Stewart, it is his favourite event. It's not an Olympic event, but he is putting in the speed training as he will be competing in the 1,000 metres. A very, very slow start from Postrigay, but as I say, he is in it for the practice. The last 200 metres, and it's an exhibition from Murray Stewart from Australia. He's really ripping the rest of the team apart. Yuri Postrigay is finishing fast. But Murray Stewart crosses the line first, Yuri Postrigay second, and Jost Zakrasek for Slovenia in third position. Struggle to get going, but once they're in it, he's not smiling by the way, he's gritting his teeth. And Yuri Postrigay putting in some very good training for the K2 200 metres. Results for the K1 500 metres, first Australia, second Russia, third Slovenia. Another Olympic event, the women's K2 500 meters. Team to look out for in lane number 4, Vera Savitova, who's already won the K1 500 and K4 500 races with partner Natalie Lobova. These an unknown force, the young Germans. They did well in the K4. Can they fulfill their potential? And it's good to see racers from all over the world. Here we have Venezuela. They're not going to win, but they should put up a good performance. A little bit slow off the line, to be fair, from Venezuela. Something to work on in the future. German second team. What can they come up with? Another under-23s. But as they move through the field, it's not surprisingly Natalia Lobova, Vera Savitova, who's taken on an early lead. Complete dominance from the young Russians. Come on to the last 200 meters. It looks like they're going to have the victory. But the Germans, the young Germans, can they come back? They've got determination on their faces. And no, Deborah Niche, oh, they've taken it. What a surprise in the last 30 meters. They've come back from nowhere and they have overtaken the Russians. They must be delighted. It just shows in this sport, you have to keep concentration. You have to keep paddling to the last breath. Delighted with their result, the young Germans, under 23s. Confirmation of the result. First Germany, second Russia, and third Germany.
At the end, we have a lot of power and yeah, so it was the plan. And
it's strategy.
Yeah.
Fast and furious, no tactics, pedal to the metal. It's a new Olympic event, the K1 200 meters. And we've got to look at lanes 3, 4 and 5. In your picture, Cesar Desario from Ecuador. He actually came second just by a whisker last week, being edged out by Ed McKeever, who's not on the blocks. But we also need to look out for lane number 3, Piotr Simuniecki from Poland, coming back from injury, but he is the world champion. And here in lane number 5 is the Russian Molotov, who can be expected to do great things. But as they approach the line, in your picture, it's Cesar Desario from Ecuador, giving it his all. Oh, that's going to be too close to call. Who's it going to be? Ecuador or Russia? Well, they're saying it's Ecuador, but the Russian here in your picture, all power. The idea: get the boat going, maximum speed, and hold on as long as you can. Confirmation of the result: first Ecuador, second Russia. Third, Simuniecki is in training, lane number 3 from Poland.
Mi regata, bueno, es para mí muy...
It was a very hard race, very difficult. I had to be extremely concentrated, and the weather really wasn't helping us at all. Staying with the short sprints, but switching disciplines to the canoe. This is the men's C1 200 meters final. And let's look out for lanes number 4 and 5, both from Azerbaijan. Andrei Kaito in picture, won a couple of weeks ago in Poznan. And his master, Valentin Demyanenko, is the current world champion. Kostelov from Russia, also been on good form recently. Shuklin, this race is full of talent. All the Eastern Bloc, plus Mark Aldershaw, lane number 1, who's not expected to win, but is training for the 1,000 meters. That's a huge start. Andrei Kraktor, lane number 4, is going for it. And as we approach, only 100 meters to go, there's almost clear water between Andrei Kraktor in your picture now. He won a couple of weeks ago and he's won today. That's a very convincing victory for the Azerbaijani athlete. Second, Shuklin from Lithuania. Third goes to Kostogold from Russia, with Demyanenko struggling in. Lane 5 takes up the 4th position. This is a pure power event as they get these boats going to maximum speed. Che Guevara headband. Doesn't get much cooler than that from the young Azerbaijani. Confirmation of the result. First Azerbaijan, second Lithuania, third Russia. Switching to the women and switching back to the kayaks. It's an Olympic event. It's the K1 200 meters. Again, lanes 4, 5, and 6. In your picture, it's Natalie Lebova, who's been in action a lot in the last couple of days, just checking her equipment before she goes. And the girls are off. Also look out for Elena Nichols, who's been medaling right throughout the last few weeks. But as we approach the halfway point, it looks like the Finn, Jenny Mikkonen, is taking up the lead, but Elena Nichols in the picture, always known for a fast finish. Can she come back today? But she's going to be struggling at the moment. She's down in 4th or 5th position. As they come over the line, it's Jenny Mikkonen from Finland who takes it. A rare victory from Finland. Second, Lebova from Russia. And third, Podolskaya from Russia. Came from nowhere. Very fast off from the start. Alana Nichols here from Australia has actually entered in the 200 and the 500 of the Olympic Games. She'll now go home to perfect her technique. Confirmation of the result. First Finland, second and third, Russia.
I'm happy with my result this weekend. It was a pretty tough race with the heavy headwind and the side wind, but yeah, I'm happy.
We're in chain with the big boys. It's the men's canoe. It's the C2, 200 meters. Going to be a fascinating battle. In lane number 5, we have the current world champions, Labuktas Getatis from Lithuania, against, probably for my money, the Russians who won last week, Viktor Melantiev and Nikolai Lipkin. On relatively calm water, they all get away to the good start. The Brazilians in lane number 8 off to a fast one. That's Silva and Oliveira, who actually came second last week. Bit of a surprise here because they haven't done much in the last few weeks. It's the world champions right in the middle, Labuktas and Gedikis, who seem to be wearing the black, who seem to be coming through the strongest. Here they are. And as we cross the line, they've taken it. First for the Lithuanian team. Ramidus, Labuktas, Tomas, Gedikis. They got away to a great start and they kept dominating right from the beginning. And it's great to see the Brazilians in the medals. 4 years until the Olympic Games. That's Silva and Oliveira on the medal podium for the second time in 2 weeks. Coming up to the line, they lean back and push the bow over. Confirmation of the result. First Lithuania, second Brazil, third Russia. The last event of your day is for the real sprinters. It's the women's K2 200 meters. Only 4 teams in the lineup, 2 Russians, and in between them, the Australians, Rachel Loven and Jo Bridgen-Jones. Jo's just coming back from quite a serious injury. And the Germans, again, putting in a number 23 team. In picture, the Russians, Kudinova, Poshkurina, they were part of the Russian K4 boat that actually came third. And here's the other part of the same boat. So these girls know each other very well. 2 Russians, Australian, and a young German team. And they're all off to a good start. As again, no tactics, just pedal as fast as you can. Coming up with 100 meters to go, it's Rachel Lovell from Australia, looking to have a victory. And yes, he's crossed the line first. That's going to give them a lot of morale. Good victory for the Australians. Australians have had a good weekend. Bottom of your picture, it looks like the Russians, Kudinova, Poshkurina, got off to the best start. The Germans giving it their all, but the experience of the ex-Brit, now Australian, Rachel Lovell, brings the Australian team through the line in first place. Confirmation of the result, Australia first, Russia second and third.
It was only second final together. We first raced in Duisburg last week, so yeah, we were pretty cold before the start. We had 4 layers on, so yeah, as soon as the gate dropped, we just went for it and yeah, had fun.
That's it for the flat water season. Join us next week for the slalom.